We are Movie Menu Reviews, your podcast that goes bump in the night. On today's menu, we'll be reviewing Halloween. Ooh.
Brains.
Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast.
Yes.
Live on Facebook. Woo!
Hello, Facebook.
Hey, Facebook. How are you doing?
Hi, Facebook. How you doing?
Hi, Mark Zuckerberg.
It's been a while, Mark. How are you handling the press right now?
And he just bought us out.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're billionaires.
I don't think he bought us out as much as he shut
Canceled
us down.
it.
He basically
Shut us down. Yeah. I like to call it a buyout.
And the reason why we got shut down is because of our co-host senior panelist, Z!
If ever there was a reason, I think I would be the one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Well, also here, who's not helping at all, ever, is my co-host, Mike Still!
My favorite thing to do is to not help and to make things more difficult.
Doing a great job, Mike.
That's what I do.
You are the master at that.
That is what I do.
Also, speaking of master, we don't have a guest today.
So we have no master?
So there's no master.
We're freed. We're gonna run wild.
Except
now.
that means that the stakes are high because you two can now, one of you can earn
No, there's no
points.
points today.
Oh,
so-
no, I think it still means that you can earn shame at the very least.
Oh,
Or earn some
shame.
shame, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm up for. I'm always up for
I
shame.
think you're the only one that should earn shame for not watching the
I
film.
will shame one of you for
This-
not for watching this film and getting the unless you both have the same verdict.
We'll, we'll find
That's
out.
the only
let's
issue.
find
But
out.
before we get started with that, let's go ahead
Yes.
and get into our movie news. Oh, we have a ghost outside. Yeah, this is the episode right before our Halloween episode, so it's nice that we are going to talk about the Curse of La Llorona. For those who don't know about La Llorona, she's a Mexican folklore tale, or I guess Latin America, and she's depicted by many stories, but it's a woman who, out of jealousy and craziness, like ends up murdering her children in the river, and then
Close enough, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
This movie's not going to care about the actual story of La Llorona. But continue.
What is the actual story?
The actual story is she was a woman with two children. She met a man who was rich, and so she never told him that she had two children. Then, in order for her to appease him, she murders the two children, goes back to him, and he goes, "You killed your two kids."
There's multiple.
There's a lot of
Oh, I
but
see.
there are.
That's not the main story.
Is that not the one you've heard?
So that's
that's
like
not the one I
that's like version number 2. Is that
Yeah.
one
Or
that's
version
interesting?
number 1, depending on who's talking.
Okay, sure.
Well,
That's
the
version
one-
number
the
8.
one that I know
number
is
8 and
The woman
letter 1.
gets scorned by
Number
her
8.
love, and like as jealousy, she kills his children, but realizing
Oh,
like,
his children.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
heard
and
that's a
it's
different
like-
story than I've heard.
Oh,
Okay.
like
interesting.
it's her, and then but she does have rage and jealousy, and then she realizes, oh my god, I killed my children, so she cries about mourning that she's suffering.
Yes.
Got it. So both of these sound more interesting
Than this movie. Yeah. So this movie is going to be directed by Michael Chavez. I don't know.
Chavez.
Is it Chavez?
Yeah.
For me, it
Now
feels...
he's directing the third Conjuring 3.
He is also directing the third Conjuring 3. Has he done anything prior to this to show that he's actually...
No, I think he's
Yeah.
done like short films or
Yes.
short horror films, and James Wan, who is like he gave, I think, like opportunities to upcoming filmmakers.
Sure.
So
I mean, I appreciate that. However, for me, and I know this is Michael Chavez is directing this just feels like cultural appropriation. It just feels like there's a white woman who is going into Mexico. Is it Mexico that it's going to be taking place in?
I think it's Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever the case may be, it just feels like
But you know what?
white person comes into a community
I
to
was thinking the same
refix
thing.
things.
But I was reading a lot of the comments, and you never read comments. Never read comments because they're the worst. But I read the comments for the trailer, and some people actually
Technically, we are comments.
we are. Never read us.
We're our commentary.
Listen to us, but don't read it.
But don't read us.
But some people were saying if the Latino, if a Latino was in the main role, we heard the stories already, so we wouldn't fuck with that. But as someone who's not from the land descent, the way the story unfolded, to find out what the curse is, there would, of course, a white person.
You would need you would need somebody
someone who's not familiar.
You
with the
wouldn't
story.
need a white person. You would need a person who doesn't know it. So it could as easily
Well, I
be
guess
a
it could be
person.
Mike, because you and we've grew up with
Well,
this.
and that's what I mean. It's like you could have easily gotten somebody who was of Latin descent who just comes into the community and all of a sudden goes, "Wait, I've never heard of this. You've never heard of this?
But
Like this is
that
your
requires
culture."
someone
And
to be
that would have been cool.
Whitewashed.
Yes. Well,
Or not whitewashed, but
Yeah,
but that would have still been.
Mike a coconut.
But see, that would have been a much more like
prefer
again.
palm juice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're just basing this off of the trailer itself, but there is so much more missing here in that, like, we're describing a much better story. If, say, for example, a whitewashed Latino person comes into the community, and then you have a lot of people from the community going like, "Oh, you didn't hear about this? Where did you grow up? Why didn't you hear about this?" That would have been much more conflict, would have been way more interesting than what we got to see in this trailer. And by the way,
this is like more of a teaser than anything. And I would say before we shit all over it, I think we should first, more importantly, we should also see if there's any Latinos or Latinas behind the scenes.
There was plenty of them, yes.
And just wait and see how the film is before we shit all over it.
I'll still watch it. Sure.
I'm still gonna watch it. I'm just not happy that you've got a white lead.
But I'm happy with the fact that they're actually doing. So it's like a conflicting thing. I'm happy that they're actually bringing La Llorona into the big screen.
Well, I'm not happy that they're bringing it into the Conjuring series. That's what I'm not happy about.
I'm happy about that because I like the Conjuring series.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
This is going to be part of the Conjuring universe.
No, it's not. It's not part of the
totally is part of the Conjuring
No,
universe.
it's just produced by the Conjuring universe.
Oh,
people,
so that means that it's part. It's going to get
part of.
They're going to have the Nun versus the Llorona.
I hope not.
Oh,
yes.
Actually, that would be kind of cool.
No, it wouldn't.
That's
the opposite of cool.
After watching The Nun, I really, really hope that.
But you know what? The other part of this reminds me a little bit of like Paranormal Activity.
The marked
ones.
Yeah,
which we
enjoyed.
loved.
Yeah,
I thought that was really well done.
Actually, yeah.
I agree.
But the thing that I think I enjoyed the most of it was that it took place in East LA. It took place in.
No, it didn't. It took place in Oxnard, but
Oxnard. That's right.
Similar to East LA.
But
it
there
felt
was
like
no.
East LA.
Yeah. Well, I think it was filmed in East LA.
Oh,
we did see some interesting places. But it just felt like that movie felt right because the leads were of those communities.
Yeah, it did feel like kids you grew up with.
Exactly.
For sure.
Whereas this one looks like, all right, you got the woman from Freaks and Geeks. I love her, but I wouldn't say that I'm totally like on board with watching her go, "Oh, what is this?" Like, and then go La Llorona. Yeah. Just all that. Like, I'm not game for that. Like, you could have easily told a better story with somebody who was different. Anyways, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the list for us to watch anyways.
Yeah, I'm just not happy about it.
Yeah, any time there's like a proper setup like that where they're explaining what it is before it happens, I feel like it's just not going to work out very well.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer. Though it's been out for a while, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yep.
And that is Vice.
Yes.
Starring Batman.
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
His name is
starring
Christian Bale.
Just Batman.
His name is not actually Batman. It's just Christian Bale.
Oh, you mean Bruce Wayne? I got you. Bruce Wayne.
Christian Bale.
Sam Rockwell, Amy Adams,
and
Steve Carell.
Amazing cast.
Great.
Amazing cast.
Yeah, they also have who's playing George W. in this?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
It
Sorry.
was like-
but it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mike.
No. I think dead on George Bush impression. I think it's like
It is, and
it's so good.
You know, like
It's so
after
good. And it's same with Cheney as well.
after 3 Billboards, like Sam Rockwell can play idiot well.
Yeah.
So
That's unfair to say. He's played idiot in plenty of films prior to that movie.
yeah, but that one was the one that he got an Oscar nominated for. So
You're-
was his best.
You're right.
one.
If anybody gets a chance, watch Moon. He's not an
Oh.
idiot. He's an idiot in that one, but he's a space idiot, which makes it even better. He also, come on, guys. He also came out in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as the president of the universe and played an idiot the entire
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
He's got a degree in playing an idiot,
Yeah.
but he's a genius.
Yeah,
He's actually really good.
I
But
agree.
anyway, so Vice.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved him in Moon as well, which is great indie sci-fi. If you haven't heard of it or seen it before,
Yeah.
highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Now this is directed by Adam McKay,
Yes,
who
it
did
is.
The Big Short.
Right.
And so, do you feel like? I mean, it's like the untold story of
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
So, do you think this is going to be very dense, like The Big Short was, or do you think it's going to be straightforward, like Adam McKay's comedies, like Anchorman?
Oh, I think that in the hands of Adam McKay, especially after The Big Short, which was a very densely difficult movie to get through because the material was so difficult to understand. There were so many moving pieces as far as like, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, it's about the housing epidemic that happened during Bush's era. So the fact that they were able to explain why the stock market crashed through these like skits, there were some skits in the movie that just kind of like did a really good job about it. I think that Adam McKay has the ability to do that. I trust that he's got the ability to do that, and more importantly, I think he's got to be able to do it in a way that doesn't politicize the situations. Like, and I know that's kind of hard to say because it's a politics movie, but like honestly, like just tell the story right, and I think we will have a really compelling movie to walk away from. Because like Dick Cheney is an interesting character. He's a massive asshole, and so showing that on screen can easily go badly. And I'm trying to think of like other movies that have had Dick Cheney in it. Fahrenheit, with the
11/9.
Yeah, exactly. Like that one was like a really good one where like it showcases behavior. So I think we have a good amount of documentaries that show it. So fictionalized, you have to do it in a way that's not lampooning, but at the same time making fun of the situations. So.
I think, yeah.
Well, there was W, but
there was W. That movie wasn't that good either. So that's who directed that one. That was Oliver Stone, I think. Yeah. So like again, don't go Oliver Stone. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere different. And I think Adam McKay has the ability to do that.
Yeah, I think this will be left leaning, but I don't mind.
Yeah, you don't mind.
I think like Cheney is going to be like. He's going to be like the villain that everyone loves to hate in this film, but, I suspect.
Yeah, but see,
it's kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like
yes,
it's going to be
this totally looks like a wolf.
Someone who's despicable, who like,
yes.
but people are like going to love to hate.
Yeah, exactly. I totally
like Jordan, whatever his name was.
Yeah, but see, the other part too is that like this movie is made after the Bush era, so it's better than W, where W was coming out during that time, and I think that was like the wrong time. Like we needed to see the history written first before we started mocking it. So I think that's why I'm really enjoying this, because W just felt like it came out during the wrong time. This is now coming out during the right time. We can now look at the presidency and go like, oh yeah, there are things that were messed up, and Dick Cheney did shoot somebody in the face, and I think they show part of it in this trailer, so it looks fun.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, before we move on to our review, I just wanted to say a couple things. This past week, a friend of ours to the show, George Aaron Clymer, passed away. Unfortunately, he was the director of Bear Creek, and he was a very good friend. We interviewed him. You could check that out. And we just wanted to say our condolences to his friends and family, and to rest in peace, George. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the...
One loves to hate in this film, but I suspect.
Yeah, but see,
it's okay.
Reverb.
Yeah, reverb.
Sorry.
So let's go ahead and move on to the review for Halloween.
Ooh, that was interesting.
There we go.
We're back.
Technical difficulties.
We are live.
Yes, we are. Technical difficulties and all.
Yes. So I have seen this film. Mike's seen this film.
But
Z has not. So Z, take it away.
All right, guys. The movie we're reviewing is Halloween, 2018. It's important to actually say that this movie is now taking place, how many years? 20 years? 40 years? 40 years. After the fact. So, Halloween, directed by David Gordon Green, written by also David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, yes, that Danny McBride, Jeff Fradley, and based on the characters by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, and Andy Matichak. Did I get that name right?
Sure,
let's go with that.
You nailed it.
All right, here's the plot. Laurie Strode comes to her final confrontation with Michael Myers, the masked figure who has haunted her since she narrowly escaped his killing spree on Halloween night 4 decades ago. Oh, yeah, there it is, 40 years ago. All right, so now I have not seen this film, which means that, you have to convince me. So hopefully with your spoiler-free review, now this review will spoil Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, not Halloween 3, and definitely not the rest of the Rob Zombie cluster messes that he's made.
The other 8.
The other 8.
Well, also I think Ichiro, but...
Oh, yeah.
H2O.
Oh, I forgot about H2O.
That's right.
Oh, is it completely erasing H2O?
Everything.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so it's completely erasing it. So if you haven't seen any of them, great. But part 1 and 2 are definitely still in the canon.
No. Just part 1, not
Only
part 2.
one.
Really? It just erased part 2 as well.
That's
Just part
correct.
2.
Okay, well, all right then. All right, so hopefully we're spoiler-free review. We'll decide whether or not this movie's worth a dine-in, watch it in theaters, take out, watch it at home, or at leftovers. Listen into next week's episode where we talk to you about which better movies to watch on Netflix for Halloween. All right. With that being said, both of you will not be earning points because we have rejected your applications for point earnings this quarter.
We'll have to wait till next quarter.
You'll have to wait till next quarter.
Depends on the budget.
Depends on the budget. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll call us. We
Yeah,
can't call you.
but I guess what we can do is that whoever wins the point can then take the point and give it to a guest because the guests are the ones that are only earning points this season. All right. So with that being said,
It'd probably be the winning point too.
it would probably more than likely will be. Rate this film, Mike.
No, I'll go first.
No,
ahead, Dan.
Mike.
No, I'll go first.
Mike.
So I really enjoyed the first one, and I enjoyed the Halloween series. I think the only one movie. I mean, Season of the Witch doesn't count because it's like a totally separate Halloween film.
Is that Halloween 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed the films for the most part, except for Resurrection. Resurrection pissed me off. But I will have to say I really enjoyed Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought she did a great job with trauma in this film. But this
okay.
movie overall is a takeout.
Really?
Takeout. Okay. All right. Mike?
It's a dine-in for me.
Oh.
Okay.
Dine-in,
Like
yeah.
a hardcore
Really?
dine-in?
Hardcore dine-in, just
Oh my
straight
God.
dine-in.
No.
All right. Why?
I think it's a perfect blend of nostalgia. I'd say there's some meta horror in this as well. There's also self-parody in this, but yeah, although there's self-parody, it still manages to have enough seriousness where you're concerned for the lead characters, or at least I was. And we just lost audio.
Oh, okay. Did it completely shut down?
Let's see. Hello.
All right, so hopefully people are listening to us, assuming they can hear us.
There we go.
Okay,
Can tell us whether or
are
not you
back.
heard any of that.
Yeah, so we are back. Sorry about that.
Stop.
I don't know if it just dipped out on our end or if it dipped out on your end as well.
Well, either way, it's going to affect the video. But that's
Yeah.
Of course, Christopher is in here, and he says he agrees with Mike. He says Dan is crazy. Go home. I wish I could go home. I'm forced to be here. I know you're crazy.
There's something in this. There's like a callback in this film to the original films that just like it was so great to see. I can't describe it without ruining it, but it's that alone for
Oh
me.
no,
was-
it's campy as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's campy
Oh.
in the sense that it's not. To me, itself, like I wanted. So the whole thing about the film has to surround the trauma that is Laurie Strode and what she dealt with. For
well, and
years
being
ago.
attacked by this
Right.
guy who
That's
is
right, that's the trauma.
seemingly his is that
No.
still in the canon?
No, it's not canon anymore.
Oh, okay.
But they acknowledge that, and
Yeah.
they mention that was actually
Just made up.
It was a made up rumor. One of the characters explains that it was a rumor.
That's so crazy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So like a lot of that reaction is what I had during this film because a lot of it was like really. I just saw the first Halloween like last week or a couple of days before I saw this version because there was a direct sequel from this one, and I don't feel like they handled it as well as they could have in the sense that Jamie Lee Curtis is basically the only one you care about. Which I guess is in horror movies, you only care about the one person. But even like the family members, you don't care about. The granddaughter, you don't care about.
You don't get invested in any of them.
No, there's no one you get invested in at all. And everyone in the film, as it is, I guess, in regular horror films, which is fine, are stupid, are really dumb. They shouldn't be doing that. And you are like frustrated because you want, like for me, in the trailer, you see one continuous shot of Michael Myers like killing someone. And I thought it was going to be like a nice blend of a smart horror film with this, and it's going to be like, oh, especially with like watching fun horror films that have like more meta, but this is not as meta. It's more nostalgic.
Yeah,
and I feel like
okay.
it's as opposed to growing the franchise, it's just staying stagnant. Like it didn't do much.
It didn't add anything to
No,
the...
it didn't add anything.
Okay.
It was like, why am I watching this? There was not like 40 years later. There should have been some epic. And when Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers meet, there's no epicness compared to like H2O. Like that one had like that was a cool meet between them two. So I don't know. I was disappointed.
Okay, Mike, what about you? Like, what did you like? What sold you on this movie?
Just
beyond the nostalgia.
So beyond the nostalgia, I think I really.
Hold on, we're getting that we still can't be heard, but I don't know if it's a delay.
Okay.
Yeah, might just be a delay.
Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
It's actually your sister.
Hey, thank you,
Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. How are you doing too? Thanks for watching.
All right, so hopefully they can let us know. There's no timestamp on it. It's gonna be a great podcast.
Yay!
We're back.
Are we back?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
Well, let's just continue.
Okay, sure.
Because go ahead.
So it's interesting.
Christopher can.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting us know. Hopefully that's resolved and that won't happen for the rest of the show.
Yes, continue, Mike.
Yeah. So in the trailer, there are some scenes that kind of made me disappointed. In the trailer that actually were not kept in this film. Like I remember a scene in the trailer where they have Michael Myers laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that made me like this is a bad setup.
Yeah.
That's cut out in the beginning.
Okay.
So and they make him like he's never spoken in all these years.
Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is that it's a very basic premise, just like the very first Halloween was, where it doesn't pretend. This Halloween was never like a smart horror film to begin with. It's just a murderer that goes around killing people.
Yeah, psychopath who gets released from insane asylum.
Which would great if still continue. Well, I don't want to get too much away.
Yeah. And then and I feel like that's exactly what this film was. It isn't anything different. Where it's a horror popcorn film, but I think it includes. I feel like it includes. It doesn't take away from where horror films have gone.
Got it.
So I feel like for example, I feel like the gore is in here, which there wouldn't have been as much gore. I think.
Right. So immediately you're saying that it's better than The Predator. They just also got a release.
Yes, this
Okay.
film
Well,
is.
that's not saying much though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did care about the characters. I did care about the granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I think there is like it's kind of like I enjoy the overall story here, where everyone is initially rejecting Jamie Lee Curtis, and then I feel like she gets to redeem herself.
Okay, that's something I want to talk about, because this movie is directed by David Gordon Green, and he is a director who does mainly comedy. So he's done Vice Principals, Pineapple Express, Your Highness.
Yeah.
So The Sitter, which was like this campy horror film that was released for Netflix, I think. And it's also co-written by Danny McBride, who is the star of most of his films.
Yeah.
So this movie is written by a crew of comedians. Does this film feel flawed because of that reason?
I feel like there's certain points in this film where characters are just like they're just goofing off with each other, and it felt authentic to me. It felt like
you can tell that it's written by comedians.
Can you? Okay.
I felt like it was like right on point with like the humor at this time of both high school kids as and like just general goofing off or general like dialogue with other characters, just kind of passing time with each other. I enjoyed it all on its own. Like no matter what film it would have been in, it's a fun watch. For example, there's a scene with two cops and they're kind of hanging out together and they're having like dialogue about banh mi. I thought it was funny. It was everything okay?
Yeah. No,
okay.
Totally. Dan, what about you? You're saying could you say you could tell it was written by comedians?
Yes, and I feel like it was set up for not to be a horror film, but like a parody of a horror film. And because the opening scene, so it's in the trailer, where the guy is at the mental institute and he brings out the mask.
Yeah, I remember that's in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that sets the tone for the film, and it's like over the top. It's really over the top.
It is over the top. It's super retro. Like
it does feel retro watching the trailer.
But
but like it cuts. It's like really quick cuts where it's like the guy's like say something, and it's like it goes to Michael Myers' back, and then it goes to the other mental patients, and then the dog barking, and then say something. It's just like really really ridiculous.
It is.
And it feels like they really try to film it as if it was in the 70s to modern day time, and for me, I feel like this film is just so split. It's not. the tone in itself is different when it's with Michael Myers, and it's different when it's with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting. What do you mean, Dan?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's like, so I don't want to give it away.
Okay, is there any way you can...
So what you're saying is that the tone is different. So you're saying that like the film feels like a different vehicle. So it feels like a horror with Michael Myers, I'm assuming.
Well, no,
and it feels
it's
like a
funny
different
because
movie.
Michael Myers has become this icon, and then Jamie Lee Curtis has become like this monster to her family. So it's like the reversal.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So Michael Myers has become like a sort of like an urban hero type of...
Not a hero, but
No,
like an
not
icon. Like he's brought Haddonfield like this fame.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, and that happens in our culture as well, right? Like that happens with, like, say, for example, what's his face, Charlie Manson, which is another movie. That was another person who keeps getting referred to a lot in movies in the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
So you're saying it's more like Charlie Manson, and like Michael Myers is perceived as like this notorious boogeyman.
Yeah, but the thing is,
good.
they always just they never scratch to the surface of it. It's, for me, it was very one note because I wanted to know more from the daughter and how she grew up and how she experienced it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So
they tackle it a little bit, but they could have gone a lot further with it.
Okay, so filling in with that, so after the trauma of Jamie Lee Curtis's character, she raises her daughter basically in training to assuming
Like
that
John Connor,
Right,
Yeah,
which is one thing we were always talking about was that this was going to be Terminator 2 from the series.
That it
Does
was
it feel that way?
It did,
No.
For me, Jamie Lee Curtis's character was her own character, though.
Okay.
So it felt like it drew script-wise. It felt like it drew inspiration from Sarah Connor, but it didn't. It wasn't a direct rip-off.
Okay.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis was definitely more. She was suffering. She was suffering, and she was still in grief and still horrified and still trying to deal with it.
Got it.
And I felt like she did an amazing job in this. And
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is incredible in this film, and she's the main reason why I say it's a takeout. Like, you should at least watch it for her. But I don't feel like you need to watch it in theaters. There's really nothing gained from it.
I feel like I felt like
Even the audience that I watched it with and I watched it Thursday night.
So like I felt like Michael Myers was just like, he is what he is. He's just a monster.
And that's, I think, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, like, they make it very clear in the beginning, like, they're these journalists that are trying to get.
There's these podcasters.
They do mention. They do throw that in. But it felt,
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
It felt like, making of a serial killer.
Yes,
that's exactly
yes.
what it felt like, and I think that's smart. That's smart to acknowledge that's kind of
That's a culture where
that's kind of where we're in today, and they didn't like dwell in that. It was just like a quick line thrown in.
Got it.
But I feel like shoot. I lost the train of thought.
Okay, so what I was going to say was this, like, my problem with the Michael Myers series, and I remember,
I got it.
I don't remember from what point I stopped watching them, but I honestly just felt not interested in the same way that I got not interested in Jason Voorhees. They became they were originally human and they became a superhero type, not superhero, super powered villains. And so for me, Michael Myers gets shot in the first movie and then all of a sudden walks it off in the second movie. Now, obviously, you're saying it's been completely erased, but that for me was the issue was like, I just didn't feel like these sets of films were in our reality, and I would be more scared by a supernatural person who murders our people and can easily be killed. See, the helicopter agrees with me.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's still the same.
it's still supernatural.
I mean, in terms of what like Michael Myers can put up with,
It's
it's unrealistic, obviously. But
And it's explained in a really hokey way.
Oh, no.
Like, so there's a new doctor that's supposed to be like Loomis.
Okay.
The new Loomis, as they would call it.
Because Loomis was initially killed in the second movie, so he was alive. He made it.
Right, yeah. He because since part 2 and on have been retconned, Loomis, he died from a heart attack or something.
Okay.
I forgot what
Okay.
they
Not
said.
from fire. Okay.
Right. So this new Loomis was a student from him,
Oh.
and had been Michael's doctor for like
Is his
decade or
name
like a decade or
Loomis?
something.
Is his name Loomis?
It's a Loomis.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
it's
Loomis.
not. It's not. By the way, we have a new person. Brian Lozano says hello.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
Brian, how's it going?
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me.
Let us know if our audio's cutting out because we can't help
And,
this.
Say hi. Michael Hills just joined us. Hi,
Hey.
Michael.
Hey, Michael.
How's it going, Michael?
So go on.
He's going to jump in. He's going to complain that we're getting on the review wrong. Go ahead, try. Go ahead.
I think what I like is they very early on they're like there is no more story to tell of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
They're like he's just pure evil. That's it. But so I feel like like. And I get
that's my reaction.
That's my reaction.
I get that, but there's just like if you kind of accept that for what it is and then enjoy the film for what it is, I felt like it pays itself off, and I feel like it's totally worth it as a popcorn film in theaters, and just to see it all unfold between. I mean, the climax of this film is when Jamie Lee Curtis meets Michael Myers, we get to. I feel like it delivers.
Do you feel? Yeah, I was gonna say that was my last question. Was like without spoilers, do you feel like that final meeting between the two of them?
Yes.
Because it's a setup, right? This whole movie is a setup.
Yeah,
it doesn't pay off.
I felt like it totally paid. And there's one shot in particular. I was like, I'm not vocal in theaters often.
Yeah,
but there's a scene in particular where like I had an. Like,
was it a jump scare?
No. It's not a jump scare. As you guys know, I'm easily scared.
Easy prey on jumps.
No, it wasn't a jump scare. It was like a self parody moment, and it was. I felt for me it was.
I know what you're talking about.
It was perfect, and I can't say it without ruining it.
Okay, so don't. Okay.
Yeah, but I felt like there were a lot of like nuggets of. There are a lot of moments like that, or a few moments in this film that made it worth it.
Very few moments, in my opinion.
I felt like
that recall to the first one, and it's like, aha! For me, it was not enough, and the ones that were for me only half-assed.
So Michael Myers, he make no mistake, he's a monster, and you see him as a monster from beginning to end in this film. He's technically a human being, but when you see what he does to this town and the people in it, he's a monster.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I don't have much more to ask except for the sound quality. The sound. I want to hear about the sound because horror movies are all about sound. Yeah. So
obviously the music was great.
The music and the sound engineering. How did it play off?
It was great, and they used a lot of film from the original music from the original film.
Oh, okay.
Well, John Carpenter also wrote new stuff for it as well,
which is super fun.
Because he wrote the music, right? It was him and the piano, just like him, kind of like winging it.
Yeah, it was, and these like old school synths are in there. It's super fun, and they don't allow the music to get in the way of suspenseful moments.
Got it.
As well, which I enjoyed.
Okay.
And appreciated. So.
All right. Well, any final words? Because I, at this point, have my verdict. It's not looking good, Mike.
I don't care. I saw this movie, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I agree. I still want you to see it, and I still want to know what you think.
Okay, Dan, final words?
I feel like they kind of missed the point of I mean, what they got right was the trauma of Laurie's story, which I thought they did a great job with.
Okay.
That story. Now, what I don't like is the fact. I guess what I don't like is the family members. I don't like the daughter, and I didn't like the granddaughter so much. I feel like they were taking away from developing the continuing story of Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. And every time we focus on not them, I kept on getting like upset and mad that why are we following these people? These people are stupid. They're doing everything like in Scream told you not to do. And it's like, oh, this is so dumb. I hate watching these people.
I kind of feel like Judy Greer's her recent career has been nothing but that. Because Judy Greer comes out in Ant-Man, she comes out in Jurassic World, and she plays those same characters.
Why are you doing this? It's like you're so wasted.
Yeah.
It's wasted.
Yeah.
Is she though?
That one that is not a payoff. Come on.
Moving on. That's good.
That was a cheap shot.
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Mike, final words.
I think all of the family members are basically extensions of Jamie Lee Curtis. So if anything were to happen to these family members, I would hurt for Jamie Lee Curtis's character. Mm-hmm. And Jamie Lee Curtis, she does so well in this. I care about the family because of her.
Got it.
And I feel like she single-handedly carries this to me, and it's totally worth it.
Well, I have my verdict, and the helicopter's coming to take you away, Mike, because I'm going to say that this movie is a takeout.
That's fine.
Only because, and I think this is the biggest issue with this franchise, is that it just feels confusing. I don't know which movies to watch anymore. I'm so entirely jaded by like the Rob Zombie films.
Just this one. That's it.
Just watch this one.
Well, watch the original on this one.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. That's still too much work. So I'm going to say Dan gets the point for this one, but Dan does not get the point. He gets to give the point away. Okay. So I'm assuming at the end of the season, he will go ahead and give his point. Unless you want to give it now.
No, I'll wait.
Okay. All right. So that's my verdict. I say take out, watch the movie at home. But, just because that's the case doesn't mean that this movie is not worth the watch. I agree. Jamie Lee Curtis is an amazing actress, and watching her in film is always fun. So tossing the hosting duties back to Dan.
Thank you. Thank you, Z, for hosting. Thank you, Mike. It was a valiant effort, but like always, you lost. I'm just kidding. So we'll be back next week with our new episode of Movie Menu Reviews, where we're going to talk about our top 3 picks for Halloween films. If you have a pick that you want to go ahead and let us know, you could message us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, any of our social media, or email us and let us know your picks of what you must watch during Halloween.
Yeah, something that's easy. Hopefully, this will give you guys in a better way. Something that's easily accessible through streaming. That would be a much easier thing to just throw in there.
Netflix or Hulu, or
Amazon. Yeah.
So something that you can binge watch.
Or binge watch. You can binge watch it too. Yeah,
binge watch all these movies on Halloween night. Since Halloween's on a Wednesday.
Yes, it's a Wednesday.
I said binge.
I heard
bitches.
I heard bitch watch.
I did hear bitch watch.
No, you'd be listening. You hear it.
What kind of movies are you suggesting?
Witching and bitching.
Actually, it's not bad. It's a movie that will make you feel like a bitch.
On that note, thank you so much, Z.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you,
Dan the Man. And again, we're Movie Menu Podcast here with Movie Menu Reviews. Stay tuned for next week where we have an all-new episode.
By, the Rob Zombie.
Not that one. All-new episode of Movie Menu Reviews. Stay tuned. Till then, thank you. Goodbye.
Boop.
2, 3, 4.
Oh. You gotta have a job.